Hello all, welcome on into our tarot spread for the week ahead. It is Monday, July 21st, 2025. So this is the week that we are focusing on for our energy for the week ahead. My deck this week is, or the deck that I'm using this week is the Sacred Sisterhood Tarot for fierce women. But I'd like to think that any gender that you identify with, you will find something in this deck for you. It is by Ashani Dewberry and illustrated by Connie Curie. This was given to me by my friend Eva, who is also a tarot aficionado. And I really like it, and I haven't used it for a while, so I thought, hey, why not? Let's get some fierce energy from these cards into our week. So let's see what we've got. And I love one of the things about tarot that can get a little addicting, I guess, is there are so many cool decks. There are so many different styles of artwork on decks. And I'm going to make sure that we can see this card up there. There are so many different styles of artwork. There are so many different themes for decks. Like I guarantee you, if you're super into Star Trek, there probably is a Star Trek tarot out there. And if not specifically Star Trek, I guarantee you there is a sci-fi tarot deck out there someplace. I've got one that's based on movies. I've got one, got some general ones. I've got a pasta one that my friend Eva also gave me. So yeah, there are tons of different decks. Whatever you're into. Cards are just flying out this week. But whatever you're into, I guarantee you there is a deck for you if studying tarot is something you'd like. Yeah, so here we go. I hope we can see that top card. Sometimes it's hard for me to tell with the the angle of the camera. But I think we're good. I'm glad I returned to this deck. It's been a bit since I've used it, so it's kind of fun to return. And like I said, you know, I feel all decks have different energies. All decks react in different ways. I know it's an inanimate object technically, but believe me when I say they all have energies and they all react in different ways. And I use different decks at different times. Sometimes I want a deck that's a little bit more colorful. Sometimes I want one that's a little more straightforward. Sometimes the imagery of certain ones, like I have one where it's instead of people, it's dogs. And that one is great for when I'm feeling a little, maybe not so serious. Or want a little bit of a more comfortable comfort reading. Dogs are good for that. Anyway, didn't expect to talk so much about decks today, but here we are. I think, you know, we're not gonna read reversals again this week. I think I talked about that for the weekend, last weekend, or this past weekend, but yeah, not feeling reversals so much this week. Can we see these cards? Yes, I think we can. And one more. Already see some really good connections in these cards and some fun themes for our week ahead. Hope everybody had a great weekend. If I remember correctly, we had some fun cards for the weekend. So hope we all had a great weekend. All right, here's our last one. Woo! Okay, and I just noticed that some of these are in French, so I'm gonna I'm got an educated guess as to which ones these court cards are. So here we go. Our tarot spread for the week ahead, using our Sacred Sisterhood Tarot for fierce women or folks of all genders who are fierce. So our card of the week, our theme of the week is the Magician. Um, After the Fool in Tarot, which is card 0, that's technically the beginning of our major arcana journey, comes the Magician, which is card number 1. And the Magician is about combining all of the tools you have within you to make your dreams reality. The Magician bridges the world between our thoughts, our imagination, that up in the air, universal energy, and actually bringing it to earth, bringing it to reality, making it so. You've got symbols of all the elements on their cape here. There are there's infinity, meaning this is, we're going to keep going with this. This is a continuous cycle. New growth. We've got a wheel in the back that looks similar to the Wheel of Fortune. So again, this is a cycle. This keeps going. But the important lesson is you have all of the tools you need to take your dreams, to take those thoughts, to take those ideas and make them reality. It's funny because this card always triggers for me the Billy Ocean song from the 1980s, "Get out of my dreams, get into my car." But so yeah, that is a personal connection with this card, or a personal trigger whenever I see this card. But yeah, good week for taking those thoughts and making them a reality. For Monday, which is today, or at least for the beginning of the week, but for Monday we have our Le Papes. My French pronunciation is terrible. That's why I did not even try to pronounce the Magician name. This would be the High Priestess in most decks, and she's card number 2. So we're also sort of a theme here with card number 1 of the Major Arcana, card number 2 of the Major Arcana. We're sort of at the beginning of something, a beginning of a life cycle, a beginning of a change, a beginning of a new journey, maybe. The Fool is not here, so that tells me we've already made the leap, whatever that is. We've already, either declared it, bought the plane tickets, whatever it is. But we're at the beginning of a journey here. And as much as the magician tells us to take those tools that we have and actually work with the physical to make it real, the High Priestess also tells us to pay attention to what's beneath the surface. What are we keeping behind the veil, so to speak? What are we keeping hidden from others? What is that intuition, those dreams, those thoughts at night? What are they trying to tell us? What is there to listen to? What is there for us in that what's behind the shadows? Pay attention today, for the rest of the day, and for the first couple of days of this week. What are things that pop up? What are those happy coincidences that pop up? What are those little things that happen? Like maybe it's an email you get from somebody and it triggers some kind of intuitive sense. Maybe, you have a dream and you're like, okay, what was that? Or maybe you notice a certain word keeps coming up. The High Priestess tells you to go deeper with that, to go beneath the veil. Like what's behind there? What's being kept? What is your intuition telling you? And how can it help you make this a reality? How can it help in this magician work? For Tuesday, we have 4 of Cups. And I love the illustration on this card because this really is 4 of Cups energy here. This person has the cups. They know they have the cups, but they're not excited about these cups at all. This is a card today. Pay attention to apathy. Pay attention to boredom. Pay attention to feelings of being stagnant, of being stuck. It's a good day to appreciate gratitude for what you have, to take joy in what you have, to appreciate the abundance that's already in your life, perhaps to look at the things in your life and your situation with a new perspective. Because this stagnation, this boredom, this grumpiness is not going to help with this work at all. So Tuesday, pay attention to shift, to pay attention to shift. Shift happens. But pay attention to that on Tuesday. And, what is really causing this feeling of boredom, this feeling of apathy, this feeling of maybe detachment from what is, and try to find some joy, some gratitude and some connection with that. Because you'll want to shift this energy to help this. On Wednesday, we have Seven of Cups, and Seven of Cups is really about all of the choices we have in our lives as we're starting a new cycle, a new journey, new projects, new goals, new ambitions. As much as we might be driven for that because we're bored or apathetic or feeling stuck, we also have to realize there's a lot of choices we can make in life. There are a lot of choices, and some of them are really great, wonderful, complete 100% yes choices. Some of them are like, I don't know. Some of them are like, I know this is horrible for me, but I'm doing it anyway. And some of them are just like, yeah, no, that is not for me, never in a million years. So Seven of Cups really asks us to evaluate those choices, to really consider the choices we're being presented with, and to know that we have the power, because we have the power to pick these things. These things may come to us unexpected. They may come to us without our choosing to have them come to us, but it is our choice which path we follow, what we pick up, what we carry, and what we choose to do. And choice is a way to shift this energy. Just picking something and taking action on it is going to shift this. And maybe try to lean into this energy and see, what am I bored with? Am I bored with my hobbies? Am I bored with my job? Am I bored with my daily routine? And what choices can I make to shift that? Because again, shifting this energy is going to help free up space to do our magician work, is going to free up space for us to be able to listen to that intuition and act on it. And it's going to help to shift this boredom. And for Thursday, let me see, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, Thursday. Valet, I think, is the page, because I'm pretty sure Cavalier is the knight. So Valet, Page of Pentacles. And Page of Pentacles is, it is sort of a child energy. You can see it's sort of, it looks like a younger person on this card. And it's that sort of student energy. It's a sort of student energy of learning. You're at the beginning. You're doing the work. Again, Pentacles are a suit of earth. They are a suit of work, physical things, physical health. They're the suit of things that we can sense. So touch, taste, hear. And I love that it's illustrated as someone baking, because, yeah, again, food. It's because baking is work. I mean, it can be fun work, but it does take effort. But it also is something that we can taste and enjoy and take pleasure in, things that we can eat. And for some people, baking or cooking is a career. So again, that is your wealth, your money, your finances, also part of the Pentacles. But on Thursday, our Page of Pentacles tells us to do that work. maybe whatever our magician thing is that we want to make real requires taking some classes or practicing, or whatever that is. But with the Page of Pentacles, there's this energy of approaching it with a spirit of play, approaching it with a childlike energy, approaching it with that energy of making it fun. And also realizing that you are at the beginning. No one's an expert right off the bat. I shouldn't say no one. If you are, you enjoy that. Enjoy the skills that you have right off the bat without having to work for them. Because that is a natural gift. So enjoy that if that's you. But for most of us, we're not incredibly skilled right off the bat when we try something new. So take your time, enjoy it, make the process fun. Maybe the cookies didn't come out exactly right, but they're still delicious. So enjoy those cookies and then try the recipe again. And that's sort of our Thursday energy. Whatever we're working on, whatever we're doing here, have fun with it. Have fun. Make it fun. Make it play. Enjoy it. Know that you're beginning. Know that it's going to take work, but you're there and you're doing it, and take delight in that energy. For Friday, we have Seven of Pentacles, and I like this illustration too. I really like this deck. Thank you, Eva. I'll be using this deck more often. I have used it a few times before, but like this is the first time I've come back to it in a while because I was in a van for 6 weeks and I only had one deck with me. But for Friday, we have Seven of Pentacles, and we have seven appears two different times in our reading, which implies that we're in a good place with whatever we're trying to do here. Sevens are more than halfway through the cycle of the minor arcana, so we're pretty good. We're pretty good with knowing our mind, we're pretty good with knowing our emotions and knowing what we want and what we choose. And we're pretty good with the work we've been doing. Even though we might be starting something new, we have a lot of skills and experience and work that we've already done. So Friday, take a moment to appreciate the work you've done so far. Take a moment to appreciate literally the fruits of your labor. And I love how on Seven of Pentacles, it usually is depicted as, these pentacles growing on a tree that you can harvest and enjoy, because that really is the spirit here, is enjoying the fruits of your labor. Just lounge in your garden, lounge in your garden in your loungewear and enjoy it and enjoy the labor that you've put in, and know that the work that you're doing is paying off. Know that the work you're doing is paying off here. This magician energy, you're on the right track. Whatever it is that you're working on, you're on the right track with it. But really, take that time to enjoy. Which also ties in with our Two of Wands, which is our Saturday card. And again, the illustration here really is very Two of Wands energy to me. You've got the world in your hands. Whatever you want, whatever you're imagining here, you're going to get. Now, you're going to get it with the planning and the work. That's part of it. I mean, we all have to do our work. It's not just going to be given to you. But Two of Wands invites you to take the time on Saturday. Again, with our magician energy, we're working with the whole week. Take some time on Saturday to really sit and dream and really lean into those daydreams, because this card really is a whatever you want, whatever you're dreaming, make the plan. That's part of it. It's very much a card about getting plans set, but take that time to really daydream about, your ideal life, your ideal job, your ideal world, and get planning on it. Take this magician energy, hold that whole world in your hands. My mom, who is watching this, will get that. There's a there's like a Sunday school song from my childhood about like he's got the whole world in his hands. But that's you on Saturday. You've got the whole world in your hands. So yeah, take the time to really lean into those imaginations, those daydreams, those thoughts about what you want, and take some time to really set some concrete plans. That is our Two of Wands for Saturday. And for Sunday, again, Cavalier, I'm taking this to be a knight. And so we have Knight of Pentacles. And Knight of Pentacles is, you're ready for this journey. You're ready for this journey. You're ready for this journey. You're ready. You are set. You have everything you need. You have everything you need to get there. It might be a slower journey than you'd like. It might take some time. There might be some bumps that you have to get over. You might take some work. It's not a quick journey. But you have everything and you are ready for this. And it's time to start. It's time to start moving forward. However slow you have to go, it is time to start moving forward here. And yeah, I am relieved for this reading, truthfully. There are no good or bad cards. There are no good, bad readings. We all get the medicine or the energy or the feelings that we need to get from the cards. We all get the guidance that we need to get from the cards, really. But I love this reading. This is I think this is really good energy for all of us to lean into at this time. And so yeah, so a lot of feelings of, if you can think it, if you can imagine it, you can do it. You can bring it to life. You can bring it to reality. Leaning in and being guided by our intuition, not getting stuck or stagnant, or knowing that the work that we do, the choices we make, the work we do will shift this energy. And it's a good reminder to, like I said, identify what's not working, what's making you feel stuck, making choices to shift that, starting to do the work, realizing you're a beginner, but starting to do the work in a way that feels fun and playful, and take the time to really study and learn. Enjoy the fruits of your labor. Have some fun. You've done some work. Plan, imagine, put the two things together. Again, very much complementary to our magician here. I don't know why I keep trying to say musician, because it is magician. And then with our Knight of Pentacles, start doing it. Slow and steady. Slow and steady wins the race here, but you're going to do it. It's time to start moving. And yeah, so that is our tarot spread for the week ahead, week of July 21st, 2025. As always, if you like this video, if you like the videos that I do, please consider subscribing. Please share the video if you like what I'm doing. And if you would like a longer form reading, please feel free to reach out. Any questions or comments, leave them below the video. And I will see you next week.